Hey, what's going on, everyone? So, I actually wasn't planning on covering Gamescom. In fact, I completely forgot about it until this week, and kind of was following through with some of the conferences and stuff. So, I actually felt like I wanted to cover a few things because there was actually some pretty decent announcements this time around, and we got some confirmation of, I think, a lot of release dates and release windows and stuff that we were kind of really looking out for, and I felt that I wanted to at least put this out in a video, get some coverages out there for you guys, as well as give you my thoughts on some of the stuff that I like. So, similar to how I kind of do the E3 coverage and the other stuff now, I'm not going to be talking about everything. Rather, I'm just going to talk about the stuff that interested me, some of the stuff that I liked, and we're just going to kind of go on from there. So if you guys have any questions about anything specific that I didn't discuss here, feel free to leave them in the comments, alright? Alright, so, to start off with Gamescom, I think it's fair to the first sort of talk about the Microsoft conference that happened on Tuesday this week. I watched it hoping and expecting that we were going to get some really kind of bombshell news and updates about some things, and I think all of us were expecting a release date for Halo then. But to be honest, it was a very lackluster conference. In fact, most of it was kind of a snooze fest. They touted it was going to be an hour and a half long, and I was like, well, okay, fine, they're going to bring some really good content, and I was hoping for, again, some type of updates on a lot of the stuff that we were kind of waiting for, but that was not the case. Honestly, the bulk of it was rather uninteresting to me. We did get some updates for some DLCs for some of the outstanding stuff, and then a large focus of it was on sort of smaller scale indie games, which is fine, but nothing really screamed out that was interesting to me whatsoever. They started off with Dying Light 2, we got some new gameplay there. That continues to look really good. I'm just hoping that all the development issues that happened with that game don't actually affect the game when it comes out. That is one thing that's actually concerning to me, is because we had a lot of internal development issues with Techland, developing that game, and I just want to make sure that, I really do hope that, again, that game comes out and it's solid. You would never have known that any development issues were happening behind the scenes, and that it's just a really good quality product. I hope so, but we're going to have to wait and see for that. And then pretty much they start off with that. It was like nothing for like the majority of the time. And then the only thing that sort of came up towards the end, we got some Far Cry 6 story trailer stuff. I mean, that was about it. But, that was basically the bulk of what was announced. And, no mention of Halo again, which, there was to be some news coming towards later on in the week. But you would think that Microsoft would have those sort of announcements at their own conference, and in fact what happened is that it seemed like they pushed a lot of their updates, a lot of the stuff that people were interested in, for the actual Gamescom briefing by Jeff Keighley, which was a little bit of an odd decision in my opinion. But anyway, yeah, the Microsoft conference was kind of a snooze fest. I don't have much to say on it because honestly not much was really shown to us. We got some updates on some third-party games, and that was about it. And everything else was just sort of, by the by, kind of not really so interesting. So, not really off to a good start there, but the next day, Wednesday, was the actual Gamescom festival, you want to say, held by Jeff Keighley. And I have to say that conference in particular had a lot of surprise announcements. In fact, we got some, not only confirmations on stuff that I think a lot of people were interested in, and some actual gameplay as well, but some real surprise hitters. It was actually a really good conference. Jeff Keighley put up a poll asking people to rate what people felt about the actual Gamescom conference, and I gave it a B personally. Pretty much everything that I wanted to know about, we got some type of updates for, and we even got some surprise hits in there as well, which is pretty cool. So that's what I'm going to be discussing here. Let's get to it. So we start off the Gamescom briefing with a reveal trailer for the new Saints Row reboot. Now, I see a lot of people, complaining about the new direction of this Saints Row. It looks more animated, which kind of the Saints Row series always was about, but people are complaining that it doesn't embody what made the original Saints Row games so great. Now, I personally have tried getting into Saints Row. I just can't. It's, satire, humor, and just its ridiculousness really was off-putting to me, and I much preferred the grittiness of like Grand Theft Auto 4, and even Grand Theft Auto 5 has its satirical moments, but it's not so like overbearing. There's at least some level of maturity in that story, and Saints Row kind of takes it way over the top. It appeals more to the Fortnite crowd, and that type of style than I think your typical GTA style game. So for me, it was like I was kind of looking at this reveal, and again, it kind of looks like they're definitely taking in a more serious approach to it, but it's still set within this more fantasy type of world. I don't know. That's the thing. Like, this is one of those games where I'm going to have to play it again, because, again, I tried getting into Saints Row, I tried the games, and I just couldn't. They just didn't do anything for me. So I'm coming at this from as someone who played the original games, but didn't particularly like them, didn't care for the direction that they went in with those games. So for me, it's like, I'm hoping that this new direction, this new reboot, I don't know if they're going to make other Saints Row games. I would figure that they're probably going to, reboot it to bring it back and to actually make additional games. But I'm going to have to, this is one of those ones I'm going to have to play to actually see if I like. So I really don't have much else to say on that. The trailer was over the top, but it wasn't as ridiculous as, hitting someone with a large purple dildo in the previous Saints Row games. It seemed to kind of move away from that style. So I'm just gonna have to play it. It is coming out in February of 2022, which is a hot month for games, and also a lot sooner than I think anybody was anticipating. I mean, that's pretty quick to announce a game, to have it come out that quickly. So I almost have a feeling it's gonna get delayed again, but we're gonna have to see there. Okay, so. That was followed up with Call of Duty Vanguard, the official single-player gameplay video. Now, I saw a lot of people, very impressed by what they showed. I particularly wasn't so impressed, to be honest, because it looks to me like it's just more over-the-top Call of Duty, which, hey, that's what sells the games, so I don't really expect them to do anything different. We have heard nothing but just issues ongoing with Sledgehammer Games in development. Treyarch is officially helping Sledgehammer Games with the development of this game. So there's been a lot of rumors that have been going around that just the internal teams have just been... There's been a lot of major problems with Sledgehammer in particular in trying to get this game out the door in time for release. Based on the gameplay that they showed, it looks... It looks how you would expect kind of Call of Duty to look. They have some... It seemed to me that they were taking more of a Far Cry style approach to its gameplay, which I personally like. It means more player freedom. It also means more maneuverability in the world. They showed you climbing on top of, bricks and buildings and things like that. It looks like you're able to, scale certain walls and things. So the level design could actually make this a very interesting game to play. But at the same time, what I looked at, I wasn't so, blown away by. If anything, the most impressive element of what they showed was the sound design. Sledgehammer has always delivered in terms of visual and sound design in their games. I still think that, you look at Advanced Warfare and even Call of Duty World War II, those are still some of the best looking games in the series. Just the graphical style and what they went for in those games. So I think Sledgehammer is going to do a good job in terms of the technicality of this game. It's just in terms of the gameplay, whether or not it's going to be fun. I enjoyed Black Ops Cold War. I enjoyed that game. I didn't think it was as good or as well put together as the Modern Warfare reboot we got, but I enjoyed the single player gameplay of Black Ops Cold War. I'll probably end up enjoying the single player of Vanguard as well. But whether or not it's going to be anything memorable leaves, has yet to be seen. So based off what I saw, typical Call of Duty stuff with some more pages taken out of the Far Cry style playbook, which in the end might actually make it a lot more of an interesting experience. So we're going to have to wait and see. The alpha is coming up this weekend for PlayStation 5 and 4, and I'm actually going to be checking it out. I'm actually planning to do a video of me playing through the alpha and also recording my first matches. So be on the lookout for that. Hopefully it's fun, because the Black Ops Cold War multiplayer wasn't really that good in my opinion. I like the beta and the alpha for that more than the actual game. And even the Modern Warfare reboot for me didn't hold me over as much as I really wanted it to. So, I mean, the last time I really enjoyed a Call of Duty multiplayer was, it's been a long time, I have to say. But, you know, we're going to have to wait and see. I'm hoping that this alpha that they have for Vanguard is going to be really good. But I'll check it out this weekend and let you guys know how I feel. Alright, so the next one is Halo. The announcement that we were all expecting to be at the Microsoft conference was actually saved for this Gamescom conference for everyone, which is a bit interesting. I don't know why Microsoft did that. So they showed a trailer, which was beautiful, by the way. The CGI in this trailer was just like drop dead gorgeous. Whoever rendered that out and did everything, I mean, deserves an Oscar. It was really well put together. I love the futuristic design of London and everything like that they were going for. But it wasn't the game, you know? It's not what the game's centered around, which kind of like leaves something to be desired, because I was like, man, that would be really cool. I was watching that trailer and I was thinking to myself, that would be really cool if they did like a Halo spin-off, something like ODST, but it was a little bit more stealth-oriented, you know, again, more sort of play at your own style, kind of I guess, guerrilla-style warfare in a sense. That would be really cool if they did it, but it's set in like London, in that futuristic style city, and that's just invaded. That would be a really cool plot for a Halo spin-off game. But regardless, the trailer was really cool, and that was pretty much it. We saw that, but the big announcement was that we got a release date finally for Halo Infinite, and it is coming December 8th, which was already rumored to be the release date. People were saying it was either November 15th, I think it was, which was the 20th anniversary of Halo, or it was December 8th, which is, I guess, where some previous Halo games launched in the past. They were saying December 8th was a significant date for Halo, so whatever the case may be, I'm looking forward to it. You know, I have to say that based off of what I played in terms of the actual insider access, the tech preview for Halo Infinite, I like the multiplayer a lot. I hope it's going to hold me over. I'm just really curious about that campaign. That campaign is going to make or break this experience, in my opinion, because 343 has yet to impress with any of the Halo campaigns. You know, I feel like they've really kind of dropped the ball there in terms of storytelling and just the pacing of the games. So we're going to have to wait and see how that unfolds, but December 8th, it's coming up, and I'm looking forward to it, and hopefully the multiplayer is going to be a lot of fun. Alright, so there's a few stuff in between. Jurassic World Evolution 2, we got a release date of that, which is pretty cool, and that's coming out towards the end of the year as well. So I think it's November, if not October. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. But Jurassic World Evolution 2. Now, Jurassic World Evolution was a surprise hit for me back in 2018 when it released. It really took me by surprise. I haven't played those type of park creation games since like the early Roller Coaster Tycoon days. So for me jumping into that, I was just completely blown away, and I sunk almost 40 hours into the original Jurassic World Evolution. So I'm very much looking forward to this. I'm going to get it on console, which is going to be interesting because those are the type of games that are typically built and much better utilized on a mouse and keyboard for PC. But I'm going to get them on next-gen consoles, and I'm just hoping that it's just basically bigger, better. You know, they showed some first-person gameplay of you being actually able to explore some of the parks that you create and the rides and stuff. So that could actually be really, really, really cool. Some big potential there, but I'm gonna have to wait and see when I get my hands on the game. But it's nice to have a release date for that. It's coming up soon, and it looks good. Alright, also, LEGO Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga. Now, I haven't played a LEGO game since the PlayStation 2 days, but the reason I'm so interested in this one is because it's basically the entire original trilogy, the prequel trilogy, and of course the Disney trilogy, all in one package, in one game. And the games are all completely remade and remastered with these beautiful visuals. I mean, these visuals are drop-dead gorgeous. It looks like an animated film, one of those Lego films. So I can't wait for this because the gameplay that they showed looked phenomenal. But I think we all knew at this point that it wasn't going to get released this year as was planned. So it got delayed to spring of 2022, which is still relatively close. But they showed the trailer off and the gameplay. I mean, you have like, you know, air combat, you have third person, you know, shooting, and then you have hack and slash with the lightsabers. It just looks like it's going to be one crazy complete package. And I can't wait for to see the graphics in HDR and all that stuff on next gen, or really I should say current gen. You know, but on those consoles, that's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm really looking forward to that. Spring 2022. So gonna have to keep an eye out when that gets officially announced for a release date. All right, the next one was a huge bombshell announcement for me because I don't think any of us were expecting something creative and brand new to really be shown here. But I was really surprised by this. This new game called, and forgive me if I'm pronouncing this wrong, Doki V or Dokev. I don't know how I don't know how you say it. It's supposed to be this MMO style game, which is like as far away from a game that I could be possibly ever interested in, right? You guys know me. I love narrative in games. I primarily play games for the single player storyline. So any type of MMO style game is something that it's about as unattractive to me as you can possibly get for an experience, right? But this game looks so batshit insane, and the amount of freedom and stuff you can do in this game just looks absolutely just unparalleled with anything I've seen before. I mean, this game looks like it's like a kid's fantasy, like imagination game. It honestly looks like what Nintendo should have done with Pokemon. And I'm actually wondering if this game is successful, if we're going to see a tonal shift in like the way that Pokemon games are actually done. Because, oh my god, I mean, first of all, let's talk about the visual style of this game. It looks like a CG animated film. It's all cartoony. You're playing as essentially children. You're creating your own kid, this kid version of yourself. That's your avatar, and you have this large, like, open world set in this really beautiful seaside city. With different shops and stuff. You can ride skateboards around. You could just walk around the city at night. It's like it's supposed to be this complete playground paradise. And the graphics that they showed off were just like honestly beautiful, and just the frame rate was suffering in the trailer, but you could see why. I mean, it just looked like ray tracing was used for everything because it looked really good. The gameplay is a bit interesting to me because it looks like it's a mixture of different genres. It's like hack and slash combat with also like a strategy game, and then you have like RPG elements in there as well. It just looks so like insane, right? And it's so unique that it's hard to describe exactly what it is. But I mean, like someone said in the comments that this is about as far away as anything I could be interested in, but it just looks so insane that I need to play it, and that's exactly how I feel. Like, I feel like looking at this game, as soon as I heard it was an MMO, I was like, oh my god. But then you look at the game, and it's like, oh, okay, this looks really, really good. So, I don't know. This is one of those things, I just have to try it out. I just have to try it out to see exactly how bonkers of an experience this is, because it looks just incredible. But we're gonna have to see. That was the biggest like bombshell announcement for me, and again, it's like so far away from anything I would ever think I would be interested in, but I just gotta try it out for myself. It just looks insane. So all right, yeah, that was the biggest like bombshell announcement at Gamescom for sure. I was not expecting that, so I don't think anyone else was either. Apparently it's rooted in like Korean history and culture as well, so it's a bit of an interesting one. Typically we see Japanese, and we're starting to see the rise of like Chinese games as well, which is an interesting period. But Korean culture, we haven't had much of that at all really in games, so it's a bit interesting from that perspective. Alright, so in addition to that, we also got some release dates for some indie games as well. So Jet the Far Shore, which is coming out in October. This is a PlayStation 5 as well as PC exclusive game. It kind of looks like a cross between Journey, but you have like these like aircrafts or these ships that you can like fly around the world in and go up in space. I'm not really sure what type of game it is, but this is one of those games that was shown off first with the PlayStation 5 back when that was revealed, so it's had my interest for that reason alone. So I'll probably give it a shot, to be honest. You know, I kind of I haven't been paying attention to much indie games in a very long time, and you know, these are games that can be very surprising and very enjoyable and also very meaningful as well. So this is something I definitely want to pay more attention to. as we sort of enter this generation, because I think I started off really playing a lot of indie games during the beginning of the last generation, excuse me. But then like over the latter half of the generation, I just stopped completely, probably because I had so many games to play. But again, I'm being more selective this generation. I'm not trying out those looter shooters again, which took up a bulk of my time. So it's going to be a bit interesting to see. It's going to open up my time to try these other games. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So that's coming out in October. In addition to that, we also got Sifu, which is this hand-to-hand combat game, which looks really interesting. This is one of those games where it's going to really depend on whether it's accessible to like a casual audience, if it is successful or not. Because if it's the type of game that's going to force you to learn all these combos and stuff, I'm not sure if that's going to appeal to a wide audience at all. But Sifu is coming out in February of 2022. And again, it looks interesting. This is one of those where I wasn't going to play initially, but after seeing a lot of gameplay, I actually got really excited for the game. There's a lot of environmental interaction, and your character, once he gets defeated, he gets older. So like you die, and then you come back to life, but you age as well, which is a very interesting concept. So February 2022 for that. And then, last but not least, the official release date for Horizon 2 Forbidden West. Now, I think we all knew that this was not coming out in 2021. I mean, at this point, it's already in August. I'm actually surprised that we didn't get an announcement for games like Call of Duty Vanguard sooner, and even the release date for Halo Infinite didn't come sooner. So a lot of this stuff was kind of last minute, but at this point, we haven't seen anything but that initial gameplay of Horizon Forbidden West. So I was not expecting this to be releasing at all in 2021, and I was right. So February 2022 is when that game is coming out, which actually puts it in line with exactly 6 years. Actually, 6 years since the first Horizon game, because that was 2016, right? I think that was. Oh no, that was 2017. So that was 5 years. Okay. So 5 years since the release date of the first Horizon game. So again, I'm looking forward to this. I liked the first Horizon. I thought it was a good game. I had some issues with the combat. It just didn't, it was more done on prehistoric, sort of using your bow and arrow and stuff like that and your gadgets. I wanted some gunplay in the game, at least in some type of form. It looks like they added that back through the form of like pickups and stuff, so you can like shoot weapons off the enemies, and you can pick up those weapons and fire them back at the dinosaurs. So that looks really cool. So I'm gonna have to see how that goes, but I'm looking forward to it. The graphics look stunning, and I'm sure it's gonna be another solid game from Guerrilla. So February 2022 for that. And that was pretty much it for Gamescom, at least the stuff that I saw that was interesting to me. So, I wasn't going to cover this in a video, but I kind of wanted to get my thoughts out. I felt that it would be sort of beneficial, and some of the bombshell announcement that we saw was really kind of surprising. I was not expecting anything like the style of Doki V, or someone's going to have to pronounce the name to me because I don't know how to say it. But I wasn't expecting anything like that. And again, a release date for Halo, which, I think we all got discouraged after seeing the Microsoft conference and not seeing that. So that's coming out. And then some, solid release dates on a lot of these other games, Horizon and the indie titles that I mentioned as well. So some good stuff coming up. The end of this year now looks jam-packed and crazy. So kind of looking forward to seeing how that undevelops. I'm almost caught up on my backlog. I just beat Resident Evil Village. Loved that game. Had a really good time there. So I'm going to probably start Biomutant this weekend, which I heard is not going to take me so long. I heard it's not super long. And then I have Ratchet and Clank afterwards, Scarlet Nexus, and then 12 minutes, and then I'm caught up. But there's some games coming out this month this coming month in September. We got a lot of games starting to release, so I'm almost caught up. I'm hoping that I'm probably gonna be caught up by the end of next month, and in that case, I'll start covering new games for you guys and doing impressions and things like that. So. But to start off, this weekend I'm going to be playing the Call of Duty Vanguard Alpha. I'll have some footage up probably next week for that, and there's some other games. I got some more reminiscing videos kind of just stuck here. I have to render them out, so we'll go on from there, all right? So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, if there's anything that I missed here that you wanted my thoughts on, feel free to leave them in the comments. I'll get back to you. And let me know what you thought about some of those other announcements from Gamescom as well as the Microsoft conference. So Talk to you guys later, and have a good one.